Hello everyone, and thank you for allowing me to speak today and to share my research that I have done with you, that I have done for the islands of Tahiti and Mā'ohi. My name is Vehia Wheeler. I was born and raised in Hawaii, and my mother is from the island of Mā'ohi, from the district of Awharaitu. The mountain is Tohi'ea, the river is Putoa, and the lagoon pass is called Tupaparau. On the side of my father, I am English, Welsh, and Scottish descent via the United States. I spent the last 4 years researching the issue of ancestral land management in Tahiti and Mā'ohi. And this is for a few reasons. Because for Indigenous people around the world, land has always been an issue. And that's from land disputes that come from cultural reasons, land disputes that come from hundreds of years of colonialism where land grabs and displacement have occurred, pollution, environmental injustices. And today in Tahiti and Mā'ohi, we of course have our own culture, our Mā'ohi culture, our Tahitian culture, Mā'ohi culture, in which we were organizing ourselves on the land via French colonialism. And so this inspired me to research how we have lived on our land for hundreds of years before French colonialism, and the things that we can take from it and the wisdoms that we can take from it today, the indigenous knowledges that we can take from the idea of the canoe on the land. So just to start with, I'll share this poster. This comes from Hawaii, which influenced part of my research. This is called the Ahupua'a system. This is our, in Hawaii, the system of land management in the valleys and districts. This is just one example. There are many examples, for example, in very dry lands, and this is obviously a rainforest sort of environment, but this is one example of a Ahupua'a. So that inspired me to also study the idea of Te Ba'a Mataina here in Tahiti. So why Te Ba'a Mataina? Well, this is when I first realized the importance of the va'a in our culture, in Tahiti, in Polynesian cultures as well. The va'a, when I see it, it's a symbol, a canoe on the ocean. And yet, when you look at the stories, the way people identify on the land, they also use the va'a. So what does that mean for us? The va'a is really a philosophy and idea of how we interact with the world. It is a symbol of many things that has kept a social organization, a spiritual organization, and an environmental organization over time in these islands. So if you look at the va'a on the ocean, there are many things that we can learn from it and why our people have identified the va'a on the ocean to be the va'a on land. So on the va'a on the ocean, you have the spiritual connection with the elements around you. As Tahitian people, as Mā'ohi people, the foundation of our culture is spirituality. You cannot separate it out from the political life, the cultural practices. The foundation is that we come from Ta'aroa, the ultimate God. We all live in an egg called Rumia, in which the plants and species and human beings were born by our spirituality. So that also means that we also have a genealogy that connects all of us and a shared mana, power, that connects all of us. So when you go out on the ocean, you will recognize the god of the ocean is Ruohatu, and you will pay respects to Ruohatu. You will also recognize that in the ocean you have, or in the sky, you have the god of Ro'o, who is represented by the clouds. You also have the goddess Hina, who is represented by the moon. So spirituality is an important part of our culture, the foundation that has been exercised on the ocean, but also on the land. We have identified spiritual beings in order to identify their place in the environment. For example, Hina lives in the ocean, in the moon. Ro'o lives in the clouds. Ruohatu lives in the ocean. Atea, the god Atea, lives in the space. So these are all ways in which we understand and respect and have reverence for everything that is around us, that we are interacting with on a daily basis. It also influences our land management. We have identified places that are spiritual. We have identified zones that are sacred, zones that people do not enter, zones that people do not live on or put their houses on. We have identified places that are more Noah and places that people can live, depending on your role or your situation in the whole Ba'a organization. So that leads me to my next part of my studies. I started looking at the spirituality and how the spirituality influences the organization of our life. The second way that I understood or looked at or studied the organization of our life on the land and the ocean is the social organization. We lived with tribes and clans within the Va'a. So we live with a very strict hierarchy and social structure, which influences how we work together on a Va'a or how we work together on the land. For example, we have in our society, we have the Ari'i, which is Ari'i Nui, which is the top chiefly role in the society. And then you have the Ra'atira, and then you have the Tahua and the Oromitua and the spiritual experts. And then you have the Mata'aina, which is the population, and you have the Titi or Manahune, the lowest of the population. And you also have the Nohovau. And each of these organizations, each of these roles, these people in the social organization have their own role to create a functioning Va'a life on a Va'a. Everyone has their role. So for example, the Va'a on the ocean, the captain, the navigator, who is the highest on the hierarchy, is the one who is in charge of studying the stars, navigating the stars, navigating the Va'a with the stars. Then under the navigator, you have the captain. And the captain is in charge of maintaining the direction, the safety, and the peace of the people on the Va'a, on the canoe. Then you have the teams that work together from day to night, night to day, to operate the Va'a. Everyone has their specific role. And this is the same on the land. So the Ari'i and the social structure, they have their specific role of managing the population, being the ultimate managers of the population. You have the Ra'atira, who are also the chiefs. You have the Iato, which I forgot to mention, who are the connectors between the Ra'atira, the chiefly status, and the population. And then you have the Manahune, and you have the Nohovau. So all of these people work together within the society, the clan, the tribe, the va'a, in order to live their life, in order to plant food for the population, in order to go fishing for the population, in order to take care of the children, in order to travel. I mean, everyone has a specific role, and everyone usually would respect that, unless they want to break the law and and then have a very very harsh consequences depending on what law it is. But the point is that there was a social organization, which also is important when we're looking at the land management, because this social organization was able to keep the peace, or to keep the organization running, the society running on the land. And everyone was important in their role and in their contributions, which means, it isn't like the Western world today where you wake up and you decide if you want to do something. No, we have greater responsibilities within the community to work together to realize and to achieve certain objectives in the society. And so that is also represented on the land scale, because if we look at the areas that are the most sacred, which are the marae, for example, over here, the marae, the sacred areas, the areas with the chiefs, the ari'i, they would be down here. Everyone within the society had their place on the land. The ari'i were near the point, the end of the bay called the uto. The ari'i were also near the sacred sites near the marae. The lower class, called the nohovao and the manahune, they would be placed closer to the valleys, inside the valleys. And then the other chiefly systems, chiefly roles, they had their own places within the district as well. You also have assigned places for the whareva'a, the house of the va'a, and you also have assigned areas for agriculture, for farming, for fruit trees. You also have assigned places for medicinal trees, medicinal plants, in order to so areas that they grow best. So it's important that we understand that the community was very technical and practical in their way of living on the land. They looked at the land, they saw places that were best for agriculture, they put agriculture there. They saw places that were best for the sacred marae, the holy temples, and they put the marae there. So this is a very technical and practical knowledge that is important to recognize with our indigenous knowledges, that we've developed this over thousands of years of how to best live on our land, how to best feed our people. And so the va'a, it's a symbol of a canoe, but it is also a symbol that is very important to our livelihood. It is a very practical and important knowledge that we must then use again today. And how can we do that? Well, we should be, we don't live with our same social structures today with the ari'i and the same tribes, because we went through French colonialism, but there are things that we can take from the past for the future. We can do a more respectful plan of the land and land management in ways of planting taro where it's supposed to be planted, saving areas that are sacred for sacred sites, preserving sacred sites within the society. We also have areas that we could preserve or revalue, such as the whare va'a. The va'a is so important to our people that every district used to have a whare va'a, because every district had probably tens, maybe hundreds of va'a to complete their daily lives. And so those are practices that we should continue to maintain as the va'a philosophy continues to nourish our mentality and our ideas of who we are as a people and our identity of who we are as Polynesian people within the Pacific, and then how we can continue to maintain ourselves and our best practices on the land and the ocean, so that we are living together in community, that we are sharing our resources, and that we are helping each other in times of need, in times of crisis. And yeah, that's the message of my research. I'd like to thank the movement Te Niupapa Mā'ohi for this opportunity to share what I have been learning, and over these past years that I continue to learn with time as well as I continue this research. But I also want to acknowledge that the ideas of Te Ba'a Mata'aina don't come just from myself. It comes from our people, first of all, the Mā'ohi people. And the ideas, the philosophies have already been written and held in oral history, especially with our older generation. And there has been a revival, a start of a revival with different cultural NGOs of the va'a and the Va'a Mata'aina, the va'a on the land. So, and I'm hoping to play my part in continuing this research and making this idea more popular for our people, for our cultural preservation, and for our descendants, our hua'ai, who come after us. Marururoa.